Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now October 23rd of 2023, and we are just days away from South Park joining the Panderverse. It will be provided, by the way, by Comedy Central and South Park Studios, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, creating a full-on parody about Disney's attempts at race swapping and gender swapping, and let alone the entirety of woke Hollywood and exactly what they have been up to in recent times. But things are actually going beyond that. We know that the Daily Wire also joined into the mix of taking a big jab over at Disney after they made their official announcement of their version of Snow White called Snow White and the Evil Queen on Disney's 100th anniversary on October 16th. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, the one thing that I like so much about the Daily Wire right now is that not only did they cast Bret Cooper to portray the role of Snow White, but they are also accurately going to portray their own take on the Brothers Grimm version of Snow White. So basically what they're doing is that they are going to be doing something vastly different than what Snow White is going to be like by Disney, and they're not happy about this in the least. In fact, they are already frustrated over what the Daily Wire did by dropping that teaser trailer on their 100th anniversary, truly overshining and destroying all of the traction of Disney's 100th. Now, this is where matters get even more serious, and how Disney is now beginning to take action against the Daily Wire in a very immature way. Let's go into this. Now, with Disney currently dealing with the fallout from the public against their version of Snow White, after the Daily Wire made their official announcement with their teaser, one major development has to do with how Disney is now taking action against the Daily Wire in a battle of promoting and overshining the Wire's version of their non-woke Snow White featuring Bret Cooper. Now, right now, one crucial step that Disney is making as a way to take action against the Daily Wire, since they released their trailer on Disney's 100th anniversary, is that the marketing team behind this film is already prepared to drop several clips of Snow White 2024 on the same day that the Daily Wire prepared to drop more footage for their version of the film around the holiday season. Now, this is a strategy by Bob Iger and the board to pursue a desperate battle against the Daily Wire's marketing. The chase also to go against the Daily Wire is to now pour more revenue into their marketing plan for Snow White 24, something that Bob Iger previously reduced by roughly 45% in order to save on spending due to his cost containment plan. And by the way, guys, we talked about this weeks ago, that initially they were going to spend $100 million plus on the marketing for Snow White 2024, bumping up their total spending of this movie to $400 plus million, which is just pure insanity for a movie like this that's not going to perform well at the box office anyway. However, they reduced that by 45%. Now Bob Iger is upping it as a last-minute phase of desperation to go up against the Daily Wire's marketing plan for their simple marketing strategy of Snow White and the Evil Queen, that really, by the way, is nowhere near the marketing funds of Disney's, and it's already doing better. So, moving on beyond this, we know that the Daily Wire and the founders, such as Jeremy and Ben, they are making sure that they are going to do whatever that they have to do to make this movie work, to make it more successful, and to make it more appreciated than Disney's version ever will be. And they're going to succeed. Oh, let me tell you, they will succeed. Just for that one reason alone, the fact that they are dropping all nonsense agendas in there. Now, moving on forward, with The Wire now posing as a threat to Disney reportedly, this is now reportedly causing Iger to bump up the marketing by, get this, 25% or more for the funding into trailers, TV spots, teasers, and even official clips to debut online simultaneously of when the Daily Wire plans to drop more footage of their film, Snow White and the Evil Queen. To make matters even worse, Disney is now fully prepared to expedite their plan for the release of the official trailer of Snow White that may very well just end up being a teaser to save the full-length one for next year, now reportedly is releasing multiple weeks earlier than previously planned, due to The Wire's announcement of Bret Cooper portraying the role of the iconic character. However, on top of that, since the Disney investigation is practically done for that we discussed days ago with the Daily Wire, they are now reaching desperately to compete against Ben Shapiro and Jeremy. This is said to be Disney's way of getting back at them for releasing their teaser on Disney's 100th. Another movement that Disney will be chasing that is now officially in the cards is that whatever press interviews that Bret Cooper will be giving out in the near future for Snow White, Disney is now prepared to have many members of the cast, including Rachel Zegler, to do press interviews at the same exact time to wash away any kind of traction for the Daily Wire. They are now said to also be providing Rachel Zegler full privileges for the world premiere and will be reinstating her ability to appear at the event and to be present to give out interviews as a response to the Daily Wire's attempts to create Snow White as a story strictly for the fans. Also, Bob Iger is already planning to make a direct statement about the Daily Wire's motives against Disney by the beginning of November, which is, quite strangely right around the same time of their last earnings call of 2023 that will be streamed for the public and the shareholders alike. Now, I don't know about you guys, but here's the big problem with this. The way that Disney is taking action against the Daily Wire is not only a bad business move on their end, it makes themselves look very desperate. It makes themselves look like they are losing the battle here against the Daily Wire. If anything, and I say if anything, you would think that Disney would not act or not react in such a way and just do their own thing and to kind of come up with their own marketing plan that would have no correlation with the Daily Wire's attempts to really fully establish themselves with Bret Cooper as Snow White. Now, we know that a lot of people are cheering, a lot of people are welcoming the Daily Wire with open arms because of all the nonsense that Disney has driven out into the public over recent years. We've seen what they did with The Little Mermaid, and we've also seen what they did with Tinkerbell, now Snow White, and what they also plan to do with many other characters that's going to be swapped either by gender or race in upcoming installments like Sword in the Stone, Hercules, Lilo and Stitch, and let's not forget about the Black Cauldron because they have the rights for the screen of that. There's a lot of things coming out of this. Now, Bob Iger, it's going to be a very interesting earnings call in the first week of November, technically. Right after the first week, it's going to be on November 9th, correct me if I'm wrong. That very given day, he's going to be addressing some big news about the Disney Purge, about more firings on the horizon for 2024, and a lot of removal of Disney Plus content while upping the rates, which is unfair to begin with. But anyway, I would love to hear your take on this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.